now we're ready for 133-pound matches. Nagao is out of the lineup today for Penn State. And it's Brent Shunk going up against Braxton Brown. Brown, ranked 21st. Real opportunity for him to get in here and get the Maryland crowd into the match.
Yeah, wasting no time. Braxton Brown, talk about one guy that's just such a hammer on top for the Terps. And he's looking for a big move here, Tim. And yeah, good job there by Shunk getting out of that. But Braxton Brown, I mean, you could say so much about him. He last time at the NCAA tournament, upset Noah Certain, didn't end up getting on the podium, but this is a really good chance for him to test himself in this 133 weight class.
Braxton Brown, a redshirt sophomore out of Allen, Texas, Allen High School. First, probably most well known for the prep program for Beau Nickel, the Penn State Nittany Lion. Just absolutely multiple NCAA champion, and Jerry Best, the high school coach, also has Best Trained Wrestling Club and has Coach Best has made a huge impact in Texas wrestling. Braxton Brown coming out of that program. 3-time state champion in Texas. His brother Logan wrestles at West Point.
Yeah, well, the coaching staff spoke about Braxton Brown, obviously moving up from 125 last year. And he's one of the best guys. Coach Clemson said he believes that he's ever coached in the top position. And, being a wrestler, I was able to see Braxton Brown compete, and I got to agree with him. He's just a hammer on top.
And, of course, Coach Clemson, assistant for a long time at Missouri for Brian Smith, and Daniel Lewis wasn't too bad in the top position.
I've never seen somebody get 6 minutes of riding time, and Daniel Lewis is the only guy I've ever seen. So if you're Braxton Brown and you're in that conversation, you're pretty darn good.
A top 50 recruit coming out of high school. Braxton Brown having his way right now after the early three-point takedown, building up a lot of riding time here and trying to work the hips so that the shoulders will follow into a near fall.
Yeah, he's doing a good job keeping his hips on top, and Shunk has got that ankle, but very good positional wrestling by Braxton Brown. It shows you his expertise. Yeah, as he shelves that ankle, he's able to get that single leg takedown. Just look at his patience, just so patient in that single leg position to collect the three-point takedown, steps over, gets right into that leg ride.
Baylor Shunk stepping in. He's a senior, Center Hall, Pennsylvania. Penns Valley High School is a 3-time state qualifier, 3-time academic All-Big Ten, and a reversal. 2 points for Baylor Shunk.
Yeah, big reversal there for Shunk, but bad mental mistake there by Braxton Brown. I think he realized he was in that position too late, but good improvisation by Baylor Shunk in that position.
It just brings the point, Malik, the wrestlers that are in the room that aren't in the starting lineup, if the program is right, if the mindset's right, it's not what if, it's even if, no matter what, you got to be ready. It's you're not in that room for just practice. You're in that room to be ready to step in. And here's that reversal.
Yeah, and it's just, he was almost panicked a little bit, you saw in that position. He being a great top wrestler, you'd like to see him wrestle through that, but Shunk taking advantage of that opportunity and getting the 2-point reversal. Well, like you were saying, Tim, being in a room with Aaron Nagao, Beau Bertlett, you're just going to get better. I mean, and then you go and look on the international scene, you got Thomas Gilman. It really speaks to the depth of the Penn State program and why they're winning, 10 out of the last 12 titles. So, Baylor Shunk, you maybe not seen him in the lineup very much, but it just speaks to their depth.
And you got to be ready to put the Nittany Lion uniform on and wrestle as the expectations are for this program. And so you can't predict it. Nagao is out sick or whatever, but hey, it could happen tomorrow for any wrestler. You just got to be ready.
Braxton Brown does a good job of getting his feet, trying to get back in groove after that mishap in the first period. But I would be not surprised to see him get back to his offense and turn up the heat.
1-point escape for Braxton Brown. We're in the second period. The second match, we started at 125 here at the University of Maryland. Penn State's Braden Davis getting a tech fall. 5 points for Penn State. And you can see that the team score is Penn State 5, Maryland 0. Right here, we're at 133 pounds. Braxton Brown out front for Maryland, trying to get the Terps on the board.
Well, if you go and watch Braxton Brown's matches over the years, the matches he does really well is you see him taking beautiful high crotch that there is. When he doesn't sit around, he gets in scramble positions, he gets in the top position and works his turns. But the matches that don't go his way, he kind of slows down, but he gets that 3-point takedown there and back on track.
Good work by Brown, 3 points. Takedown out in front, 7-2 now with 45 seconds left in the second period. Maryland coming off 2 losses last week to Ohio State and to Indiana. And so they're looking to get some good matches. Obviously, a heavy favorite is Penn State, but every match is an opportunity to win. Whether it's or not you win on the scoreboard or not, you have an opportunity to go out and fight and have the best version of yourself. And right now, Braxton Brown has every opportunity to put Maryland on the board.
Yeah, and he's working really tough in this top position. You see the double boots in. Not a big fan of that for turning, but the riding time keeps knacking up. Like you were speaking of, Tim, to be Maryland in the Big Ten. You have obviously Ohio State, you have Michigan, you have Penn State, and there's Coach Clemson speaking to him earlier this week. It took him about 4 to 5 years to build this program up, so they got a really bright future in what they're building in the culture at Maryland.
Beginning third period here. Brown on top. The choice is Shunks. He chooses under. Try to close the gap right now.
Yeah, and he's doing another, like I said, great job of this forward pressure. He really wants to get that leg in. Now he's got that arm trap. But he hasn't been able to crack Shunk open. He's tried a couple times. He does double boots. You see him go back to that arm tilt. Tried it a few times, but Shunk doing a good job and knowing the situation, going in against a great guy, trying to win, and at this point trying to prevent bonus points.
Real opportunity again for Brown here to not only have a win, but go the entire match. Show the endurance that he's going to need against the Big Ten the whole time, because he's faded a little bit sometimes, and whether that's emotional, whether that's mental, or whatever, this is an opportunity to finish strong.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, when you see him put together that full 7 minutes, that's when you see the true potential of Braxton Brown, which I believe, is a top 8 top 8 spot kind of guy. So, you'd love to see him kind of synchronize that right now. He got a great opportunity. He's up 7-2 to keep his offense going and to get his confidence building.
Braxton Brown ranked number 21 in the Intermat wrestling rankings. Aaron Nagao, not in the lineup today, is the number 5 ranked wrestler in the nation for Penn State, the sophomore. He was 5th last year at the NCAAs as a redshirt freshman for Minnesota and transferred to the Nittany Lions this past year. But not in the lineup today. Baylor Shunk, the senior, stepping in.
And Brown doing, like I said, a great job. His forward pressure on tack. He's looking for that ankle hook. He's racking up riding time, 7-2. This is what you want to see if you're Coach Clemson and the Terps, is Braxton Brown riding like this. He's following the hips, doing a really good job chain wrestling.
Proof. 1 green neutral.
Gives up that escape. You don't want to see that. I mean, you get almost 8 seconds left. You wish you would have held him down from a coaching standpoint, but 7-3, 8-3, that's pretty good against the Nittany Lions.
Braxton Brown wins it 8-3. 3 points on the board for Maryland. There's your winner. So Penn State and Maryland split the first 2 at 125 and here at Maryland at 141 pounds. Beau Bertlett ranked number 2, going up against Kai Miller, a sophomore from Kansas City. Yeah, Beau Bertlett has certainly established himself first at 149, stepped in just like we were talking about. They needed him They needed him to step in at a weight that wasn't really his, but since 141, he's been outstanding.
Oh yeah, he's been the dominant guy aside from a guy named Real Woods, who we've seen on the Big Ten Network a couple times. But Beau Bertlett, he reminds me of a guy, Roman Bravo Young, so creative, so explosive in every position. So he's just such a tough guy to wrestle.
Everybody remembers RBY, and we're not done seeing RBY, I don't think.
Oh no, for Team Mexico, you got RBY at 57 kilograms, Olympic hopeful. In my opinion, you're gonna see Roman Bravo Youngs at the Olympics.
Speaking of the Mexican Olympic team, Austin Gomez as well, looking to be on that team. And Bertlett in on the leg.
Well, this is where Miller's good. He can scramble in these positions, and this would be most of this match is in these scrambles, is who's going to come out on top. But Beau Bertlett, so calm, cool, and collect. He's been here before, and you can see that right now. Trying to work work that leg over, and he's got the leg hooked and almost is looking for neutral danger here.
Nothing yet.
Miller's got to be careful and hope for a stalemate.
Nothing yet.
If Bertlett is successful at getting Miller's shoulders past 90 for 3 counts, the takedown is called.
No control.
That's pretty close.
Yeah, Bertlett's had a couple close matches these past weekends, and being able to sneak by, but I think that also speaks to his character and just being able to be so calm and collect in these big situations. And sold out arena at the Xfinity Center, so this is no different. But I think looking at this position, I don't know why they haven't called a stalemate here.
Yeah, I mean,
it really hasn't.
Come on, let's hear a whistle.
Yeah, there hasn't been really any chance for either guy to score.
No control.
Bertlett trying to get height. Miller trying to stay high.
Yeah, and Miller now he's in that crotch lift position, a lot better position than he was earlier on those ankles.
No control.
But, I mean, look at his knee too. From this position, I don't know how they've let him wrestle so long in here, but if you're Miller, hey, you've done a good job. You're chewing the clock. Not necessarily a bad position.
And here's where you got to look at that neutral danger right there. If he goes past 90 degrees for 3 counts.
Yeah, we haven't seen that, though. There hasn't been any count. The officials really haven't been in that position. Bertlett in a great position now to score some points.
13 seconds left, and a 3-point takedown by Bertlett. Go up, and there'll be no answer. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, you got to be pretty upset if you're Coach Clemson right there, letting that position go for so long. Because, yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, now you had 3 seconds to escape versus, I mean, he gives up the takedown earlier, and you see in this, neutral danger position, I think Miller just, almost gassed for wrestling so long. But good job of Beau Bertlett improvising, collecting the 3-point takedown.
He hasn't put him out of 1 degree.
I feel.
Yeah, wow, 39 takedowns between the last 2 meetings. And then 2-2 today, so Maryland closing that gap. Yeah, Coach Clemson not happy about
bottom.
that.
Red's going bottom.
It's just crazy situation, Tim, to let them wrestle so long, but here we are.
Wait for me.
Miller takes down to begin the second period. The true sophomore out of Park Hill High School, Kansas City, Missouri. My friend, that's where my friend Alan Waters prepped, and a longtime lightweight for the Mizzou Tigers. 2-time state champion, was a Fargo All-American, and a top 100 recruit, Miller was. And of course, Bertlett out of Tempe, Arizona, but went away to school to Wyoming Seminary and was a 4-time national prep champ. 3rd in the NCAAs.
Let's work the score.
Lost to Alvarez last year in the semis, 6-2.
Yeah, and that was a crazy match too. And I think Bertlett, one of the more underrated positions he doesn't get a lot of credit for is his top wrestling. And just being able to ride guys and score points. And I think it's a lot of these Penn State wrestlers, I think a lot of people don't understand how tough they are because they, you got the fireworks on the feet, you got the crazy moves, but back to the fundamentals, and Beau Bertlett exemplifies that. He's doing a good job riding here, and you almost think that Miller, a lot of that energy was spent in that first period scramble position. Even here, he's got to do something. He's got to work up, look for a knee slide, look for something.
Well, and both sides. I mean, Bertlett's responsible for working towards that pin, and yet Miller, like you said, may have just spent so much that he's got to show the official that he's trying to get up.
And the officials have been pretty hard on the top stalling too. So I'm not surprised if they might warn Bertlett here as well. So it's a good job now, improvising and understanding the rule with Bertlett. You see him kind of working for that.
Here we go.
Oh, there you go. Stall call on green, on cue. But now you're Miller. You got to take advantage. You got to take advantage of this opportunity. You got a clean start. You're only down by 3 points. Let's get to our feet and wrestle.
Covered. Really good point, Malik. He's got to come out, got to explode. Head on the mat's not a good look.
Yeah, I mean, you go watch that Cole Matthews match this year and why he wrestled so well. Majoring a guy that's an All-American, and now you're coming out, you're down 3-0 against the number 2 guy in the country. I mean, you got to do something. You got to try something.
It was low scoring last year. These two did meet, and Bertlett beat Miller 5-2. Right now, Bertlett out front 3-0 with over 2 minutes of riding time. As second period comes down, we go to third period, and Bertlett will have his choice. And he says, hey, I want to go on my feet. He's ahead. He's got riding time. And they go back to their feet.
Let's work the score, fellas. Here we go. Set.
Yeah, and look to Bertlett to score some points here. But Miller, this is a great opportunity for him. You're back on the feet. You have a good chance. You're only down by, hypothetically, 4 now because of riding time. But, I mean, 1 takedown and, another escape could make this interesting.
The 50th meeting between Maryland and Penn State. And it's been a long time since Penn State lost to Maryland. In fact, it's only been once, and that was 1965.
Yeah, Bertlett doing a really good job with that forward pressure. It's going to be very hard for Miller to fire off good shots if Bertlett keeps controlling the center of the mat, and that speaks his accolades. Beautiful snap down there, but it speaks his freestyle accolades too, and why he's so successful on the freestyle circles.
3-point takedown for Bertlett.
Oh, here he goes. This is what Beau does really well. Starts to collect his offense and score in a hurry.
1 green technical violation. All right.
I don't know what they called there.
Grabbing the clothes. Grabbing the clothes. Here we go.
Grabbing the singlet.
So Miller grabs the clothes there, or the uniform, and there's 1 extra point given to Beau Bertlett. That's 2 takedowns. That extra point. He chose neutral, Bertlett did, for the start of the third period. 7-1, less than a minute left.
Yeah, and Miller, he gave up that takedown, and now hypothetically the match is pretty much over, but Bertlett just does such a good job of shooting from the open. You saw that. I don't even think Miller expected that. He's so quick and high pace, and
30 seconds left.
He's just such a fun guy to watch.
Yeah, I'd call it a spear, a dart single. I mean, he's got a lot of tools, Bertlett does.
Yeah, but you know what's funny, Tim, is that he gets in on the shot real quick, but then he's so patient in the scramble to see how it unfolds. And as they call a stalemate, you wish they would have called that earlier in the first period, but like I was saying, he's quick to the offense.
3 more for Bertlett, 10-1 now. As it looks like a late takedown and a ride out for an exclamation mark, and the major decision, a bonus point win for Beau Bertlett, and 4 points on the board for the Nittany Lions. It's 9-3 for Penn State after 3 matches. Wow. And we're going at 174, and guess who it is? Number 1 ranked Starocci, 2-time or 3-time NCAA champion, going for 4 along with his teammate Aaron Brooks. 2 guys from Penn State going for 4 titles. There have only been 5. We'll talk about that more. He's 7-0 as a senior. He gets a fast takedown. Erie, Pennsylvania Cathedral Prep, coached by Mike Hassey, is getting after it against Mason Stein.
Well, you hate 165 and 174 as a Penn State wrestling man, because if you go for a bathroom break, you might miss the match. I mean, talk about beat both those guys, man. Now you got Carter Starocci, arguably the number 1 pound-for-pound wrestler in the country, going for his 4th NCAA title, and glad to see him back in the Nittany Lions. He was teasing last year if he wasn't going to come back, he might go into fighting, but Carter Starocci, 6 points on the board in a hurry. And a good shot there again. Stein taking a shot this time, but Starocci working over there, looking for a cradle and collecting another takedown by Starocci. Wow.
One red, neutral.
So offensive-minded is Starocci.
Yeah, but you know, his offense is great, but you look in the close matches, his defense is impeccable. I mean, when you look at his defense, is so technical and rarely gives up points. I mean, go look at the matches that he's lost in just 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 takedowns in the blink of an eye. But he doesn't get enough credit for his defense. You know,
the advanced stat is brought to you by IFS, and you brought it up. Won 59 consecutive matches, the longest active NCAA streak. The advanced stat brought to you by IFS.
Well, there's one guy that likes that stat. His name's DJ Washington, upsetting Starocci. But since then, is clean as a whistle. 59 straight wins. Wow. I mean, super impressive, especially at a weight class at like 174.
1 minute left in the period.
And Starocci 15-5. I mean, some of those takedowns, you can blink and there's 2 of them, Tim. And there's another.
Takedown, Starocci.
Still you, green. One red.
Stein.
Neutral.
One more takedown and it'll be over. And little duck, it's almost like.
Yeah, and I think he realizes the situation. He couldn't give up a takedown. Sometimes it's hard to call. Timmy had it right there, and I don't know what he's doing. I think he might be looking for a fall. I mean, talk about that guy that keeps you guessing. You know, it was in our ear earlier. He was tricking people. He told them it was Starocci. Now he's going Starocci. Tricky individual Carter Starocci.
Well, there's competition in the room for most falls, you know, and these guys are competitive with their teammates and.
I really don't know what he's doing, but I mean, when you're the 3-time national champ, I guess you can do what you want.
Probably chose what Starocci wanted, and Stein chooses down to begin the second period. He's caught Starocci up 18-6. Dad and Mom, Starla and Chris, again from Erie, Pennsylvania, Cathedral Prep, and young man along with his teammate, you know, a quest for 4 NCAA titles. Last year, Yanni Diakomahalis became the 5th, and the 2nd for Cornell. Kyle Dake and Diakomahalis, the only school that has 2 4-timers, but another one sitting in the corner at Penn State. Cale Sanderson, the head coach, undefeated in his 4 years and 4 NCAA titles for Iowa State.
When you got 2, hopefully this year for the Nittany Lions, you got Starocci and Brooks. So, you know, if they get it done, add to that tally. And Starocci's just riding tough. I almost think, Tim, that he wants to test his conditioning a little bit.
And he's been sick. You know, it's the winter, and some of the people that are getting sick that we're hearing about getting that flu, that winter flu, and that's why he wasn't in the lineup. And here's the cradle locked up.
Yeah, now he's going to work. He's got that cradle lock up, and he's going to look for the fall here. And even here, I don't know, unpredictable wrestling by Carter Starocci, but it looks like this is going to be it, Tim.
There's the fall. 6 points on the board. And you can see that Penn State traveled as a fan base. 197, 3-time NCAA champion. Going for 4, number 1 ranked Aaron Brooks going up against a real tough hombre in Jaxon Smith. Ranked number 5, he's really tough. He came up from Georgia, and he's the dude for Maryland.
Keep it clean up top.
Yeah, talk about a guy that can wrestle all 3 periods and wrestle him really tough. Jaxon Smith's your guy. I mean, tough task against a guy like Aaron Brooks. Look at Aaron Brooks, just consistently moving forward pressure, gains ground so quickly. But Jaxon Smith's explosive, so this is going to be an interesting match at 197. Beautiful tournament at the Cliff Keen Invitational. Kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, and to reach the finals, obviously falling to Hidley, but what a tournament by Jaxon Smith.
Along the way, beat tough Tanner Sloan from South Dakota State.
Action.
As we go out of bounds, and you see Smith doing a good job not falling for those fakes by Brooks. You know, most guys, 99% of guys are going to fall for those, but I think Jaxon Smith, great preparation by the coaching staff to realize, you know, that position and study Brooks.
Get off the face.
Aaron Brooks home from Hagerstown, Maryland, North Hagerstown High School, where he was a 4-time state champion.
3 green. Green, you're in control.
Yeah, there's the pressure of Aaron Brooks. You know, starts to put the motor on, starts to put the hand fighting in.
Easy. Easy.
Such a hard guy to wrestle. I mean, covers ground so well, and he does it almost mindlessly. I mean, you watch his wrestling, be able to cover ground, hand fight, and take clean shots. I mean, he puts it all together.
Cover.
The reason why he's going for his 4th national title, Tim.
And the national title isn't, it's not the top of his list. He's accomplished it. He'll the favorite to accomplish again, but he's already been a world champion, U23 in 2017, junior world silver in 2018, and a lot of aspirations for being world class, and which he already is.
Yeah, I mean, world-class wrestler, world-class human being. I mean, speaking to guys about Aaron Brooks, I mean, super likable guy, super kind. I mean, heard a great story about after the NCAA tournament, you know, helping the homeless, him and Greg Kerkvliet. So, you know, after he's done wrestling, I mean, a lot of Penn State fans are sad to see him go, but what a great human being as well.
Break action.
There's the tenacity of Jaxon Smith. He's not going to give up anything easy.
Yeah, I mean, 3-1 on the scoreboard. I mean, most matches with Aaron Brooks, you might see a lot more points on there, but Jaxon Smith, you know, talking to Coach Clemson, you know, all-around guy, tough wrestler, great in the classroom, great attitude, great in his personal life. So, you know, both these guys, both stand-up individuals and stand-out wrestlers.
Jaxon Smith's 3rd place finish in the Big Tens last year was the highest for Maryland since 2019.
Wrestle on the edge.
Yeah, that's a tough position for Smith there.
On the hardwood, break easy.
But a good job there by getting out of bounds, recognizing he was on the edge of the cylinder and being able to escape that takedown. Brooks almost looked like he was going to go behind there, but good job by Brooks to wrestle there on the edge. Yeah, that foot by Smith got out to the hardwood, and that's an automatic stop of the match. Yeah, I think what Brooks does a good job too is he's so good on the edge as well. You know, he recognizes where he's at on the mat, and his mat awareness especially, you know, being able to see where he is and, you know, being able to push the pressure and not give up, you know, not let guys escape and, you know, go out of bounds. The heavy collar ties and the constant forward pressure, that's just Brooks. Yeah, and he keeps you wrestling. So you see right here, he doesn't want Smith to find his way out of bounds and tries to keep you in balance here and does a good job of it. Time runs out, but great period there by Jaxon Smith. Yeah, and Jaxon Smith, great job there on the edge, being able to escape that takedown as Brooks takes the bottom position.
You're on.
A tough task against the #1 rank, but Jaxon Smith showing up to the occasion. I think this is where Brooks does really well too, is off this bottom position, this bottom tripod stand up and out in a hurry. Haven't seen very many guys hold down Aaron Brooks. And if you're Smith, you want to get some offense going here. I mean, you've been good defending, you know, but you're not going to beat the #1 guy, the 3-time NCAA champion, playing defense. So Jaxon Smith's got to find either some big moves here, Tim, or he's got to, you know, create some offense. Brooks with that escape, out front 4-1. Been in a few times, but having a hard time. It's not easy getting past the head-hands defense of Smith. Yeah, and Brooks is really good with this underhook, and you know, expect him to, you know, go to that underhook single or high crotch or double. I mean, he's got 20 million moves from that underhook position. But Smith also good from there too. He's a high flyer. Yeah, you got to be. Yeah, if you're Brooks, you got to be smart too. I mean, I think he is. I mean, he's smart in these positions, not you know, being lackadaisical. But Jaxon Smith's got that capability and firepower. Well, you just talked about it. Goes low there instead of getting that underhook. When he's got the underhook, he's taking away Jackson's favorite, but then he goes low. So far, Jaxon doing another nice job of knowing where he's at, doing the splits. This is where Brooks is good. Crackdown, there's the 3-point takedown for Brooks. Yeah, that mat awareness. I mean, the mat awareness of Aaron Brooks here. Great job defending by Smith, being able to, you know, push on the shoulder, try to get out of balance, but Aaron Brooks is realizing the position, staying his ground, and being able to collect that three-point takedown.
One red, neutral.
And this is where Brooks starts to push the pace. I mean, you can see it in his face. I mean, he's 7-1 for him. That's like a decision. He wants a major. He wants to score bonus points, and he's a guy that the Nittany Lions are going to miss because he's just been a hammer over the years. And no means is Jaxon Smith out of this match. I mean, a takedown totally changes, but he's got to get his offense going. I mean, he's got to get something going. You just seen Brooks just bring the pressure, cover Matt so quickly, but really haven't seen much out of Jaxon Smith.
Bottom man set. Go ahead, cover.
Aaron Brooks kind of does that to you.
Yeah, it stings a little bit home, wrestling my brother at NCAA finals, but just a guy that just puts everything together. And to beat a guy that's an Olympic.
He can kind of ride, can he?
Yeah, well, an Olympic bronze medalist, 5-time All-American. I mean, you don't beat guys like that on accident. I mean, Aaron Brooks' preparation is key. You go into the big matches, you can tell he's done his homework. And student of the sport, Aaron Brooks.
Stay on top of his head.
Which will be interesting to see, Tim, too, is you're going to have 86 kilograms, which you got David Taylor, obviously a program standout for Penn State. Then you got the newcomer, Aaron Brooks. So it's going to be interesting to see, Penn State fans on how they divide there and which guy they're rooting for the U.S. national team.
At Penn State, the Olympic trials, April 19th and 20th at the Bryce Jordan Center.
Yeah, obviously Aaron Brooks has got a gauntlet to go through, 86 deep weight class, but he figured it out last time, the alternate, losing to his teammate. And Beau also, too, with the past Olympics. So Penn State fans got a tough task to root for Brooks.
3 more for Brooks. Out in front now, 10-3. 1 point away from there. And he says, I'm going for the major right here.
I don't know what that was right there, but
nice patience by the official there. Just a little frustration by Smith. He says, hey, guys, okay, let's not have that. Let's go. And so a takedown here by Brooks would make it a major decision, a big statement on his part against the number 5 ranked wrestler in the nation, Jaxon Smith.
Smith does a really good job defensively. It's just you haven't seen his offense. That one position, that pass takedown, you kind of saw it, but Brooks is just so good at smothering you. Just chain wrestles. Yeah, pursuit is the best way to put it.
And that's going to do it for a major decision. 13-4. The number 1 ranked wrestler in the nation at 197 puts on a show here at Maryland. Keeps his another number one, Greg Kerkvliet, going up against Jordan GABRIEL, a senior stepping in for Seth Nevels, former Penn State Nittany Lion, transferred to Maryland and not in the lineup today. And so you get a look at the dominant heavyweight on the scene right now, Greg Kerkvliet.
Yeah, Greg Kerkvliet. I mean, I spoke about this last week. The heavyweight weight class has just evolved so much. I mean, these guys could play any sport, basketball, football, you name it. And, the number 1 ranked guy, Greg Kerkvliet, has been sitting in that mix for a while. Got Mason Paris, Gable Stevenson, but I think this is his year. I mean, he's looked untouchable at heavyweight. Beautiful takedown there by Greg Kerkvliet. Again, that double leg and looking for some near fall here.
1, 2.
But doing a great job, recognizing the position and getting the 4-point near fall. And he's got that half now, Tim, and this is
Kerkvliet undefeated, going after it right now. Last year's NCAA runner-up, and looking for the fall to end it, and he does.
Exclamation point there by Greg Kerkvliet.
The 3-time All-American has certainly grown into this weight class. I mean, he looks unstoppable.
Yeah, hard to beat. I mean, after that performance, hey,